during filming in the cruise, I try to do a launch in a two-step, and I heard click, 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 so I think it's something with my rear end. I don't hear it now, but I did a moment ago. And I'm not trying to play around and snap an axle. I don't have the money. I just said I have money for a radiator and an ECU and all these things, and I for sure don't have money right now for a rear differential rebuild, or gotta go to get too much horsepower and I need to switch to drive shaft shop, drive axles, and that's just a lot of money to throw at it. There's other things I need to get going before I go to anything else like that. So it's being pretty good to me right now. I turned the boost up so it responds a lot faster. But my boost control gauge is a pain in the butt because it's a bright blue backlit display, but the needle is red. I can't see it. And right now you see I have the sun glaring in my eyes. I can't see the red needle where the boost is, so check that off for another thing I need to get another one of. But those are cheap, so I'm gonna get the LCD display one. I don't need it to be an actual needle. It could just be a digital display. I don't care. But more problems, no money. It's all good. So after building the car so much, I don't mind being patient. I'm just glad I didn't snap anything because it was a pretty hard launch, and it's not a quarter mile ready yet. Just yet. There's other things I want to button in before I dial in what time I get for the car. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the lab. Had fun the other week. Now we got to update. I'm gonna update you guys on what happened. I had fun launching the car, revving it up. Did a two-step launch, built up to about 10 psi off the line, and just having fun. And then I launch, and then you can see in the video it's kind of a weak launch because instantly I heard clunk, 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 so I let off the gas immediately. Come home right quick to see I'm running out of daylight, so I want to look underneath the car real quick. And if you guys can see that, I'm trying to shine some light on it if at all possible. I'll get another angle of it with my phone camera. You see that split and you see all that sludge. I looked underneath here. I saw that my exhaust pipe is oily. I'm like, okay, why is there grease and grime all over my exhaust pipe? Well, the CV axle back here for the rear, the boot split. I don't know if the knuckles inside of there split and broke. The other one looks like it's okay. Maybe you guys can see it better than me. I want it to come in, change the rear differential fluid, change that out. I've never changed it. My car's at 100,000 miles now, so I don't know. I assume maybe that the other owner, because he took immaculate care of it, and I got the car at 60,000 miles, so I'm overdue for changing that differential fluid for the rear. But I know definitely I have to change that CV axle. I might as well just change them both. And then check the whole rear end. Sorry, shaky cam. Check the whole rear end for wear. I know I rebuilt the whole front end of the car. Then I want to make sure I do my diligence, rebuild the entire rear, check the bearings, change the brake pads. Definitely when I experienced a brake fade when we went down to the coast, driving through the canyons, not the canyons, but the mountains. So change the whole rear end, change the bushings. I know everything back there looks okay, but until you really break it open, you'll find out all the problems you have. If the CV axle is just broke a little bit. I'm glad I caught it, and I was able to drive home just fine. Didn't snap a drive shaft. I rebuilt the entire drive shaft already, so now the rear end's the weakest link I have, and it just showed when I tried to go out there and have fun. So better than being at the quarter mile trying to run a time and snapping everything up, snap city. So that's what happens. That's the pay. That's the price you got to pay. And I'll try to get another angle with my phone and see, maybe you guys can, and maybe me too, because I wanted to jack this car up. Somebody jack my jack. I think Darren's got my jack. Jack my jack. It's all the way across town, so I can't bring the car up and inspect everything until I want more daylight anyway. I had already worked today. I don't want to get too involved and greasy dirty right now. I want to have an early start to where I know I'm going to tear everything apart and really get into it, and I'll leave the car on jack stands again. That's just it just loves being on jack stands, but this time it'll be the rear and not the front, right? So until I give you guys another update, enjoy the video and the footage for whatever else was recorded, and see what we can do with the editing. And until then, just keep wrenching. If you ain't breaking it, you ain't having fun, right? Yeah, it's gonna cost a little bit of money to fix it, put a little bit more invest more time, but it's all good. It's why I bought it. It's a hobby car, right? So GoPro everything. Peace. I mean, I really, oh wow, see what happens? You try to film then my camera falls off. That's definitely going in the video.